You've established your own gym now, Wildcard Gym. You're on your own. You're training fighters.
Yeah. Eddie told me at one time, don't open a boxing gym, Freddie. It's a pain in the ass. He says, don't. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of. He says, you're better off not doing it. And I said to myself, I says, yeah, but you never know when the next Muhammad Ali's going to walk through your door.
Everything is going well.
Everything is going, yeah.
And then you get a diagnosis.
I was diagnosed as Parkinson's. And
what did you know about it?
Not much. I mean, I just said, you know, I don't produce enough dopamine. Why? I don't know. If I was in an uncomfortable position, or like if I was like nervous about something, or maybe nervous about a fight coming up, or a big, you know, opponent that watching tapes on them, I would have tremors, and I would go to sleep with the tremor, and I would wake up with the tremor. At that time, Parkinson's was kind of a newer disease that they really didn't know much about. And they still don't know a lot about it, but they're getting better and better, of course.
Muhammad Ali comes to your gym.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he has Parkinson's.
Yes.
Did you guys compare notes on Parkinson's?
A little bit, yes. You know, I'm sitting there by myself in the morning, and Ali walks in and says, "Can I work out here?" Yeah? I says, "The dressing room's right there." And, okay. And he went in, and then he come out, and they put his bag gloves on, and he went after the biggest bag in the gym. I said, "You know what? That's a true heavyweight right there." I said, because he didn't go after the little bag where he was going to beat it up, you know, and try to impress somebody, you know. And I said, "I saw when you started hitting the heavy bag that your tremors go away." And he said, "Yeah." He says, "That's like something I'm just used to." And he says, I don't shake during any of my boxing workout. And I says, when I do mitts with my fighters, I don't shake either. I says, when I'm doing mitts and catching punches, I'm fine, you know. But I said, but as soon as I stop, the tremors will come back. And so we're comparing notes and so forth. But when Ali came in that gym for those 4 hours, he entertained everybody in the gym. He flirted with the girls. He did everything possibly. It was the greatest day that my gym has ever had.
So 1999, Muhammad Ali walks through the door.
Yes.
And as you said, you never know who's going to walk through the door.
Right.
2001, yes. Manny Pacquiao walks through the door.
Yes.
What did you know about Manny?
Nothing. Didn't even know who he was. Can I help you? He's a little guy walking in, 112-pound former world champion who had lost that title, getting knocked out by a body shot. He says, "Well, we hear you're pretty good at catching with the mitts." And I says, "Yeah, I can catch." And he says, "Well, you want to work out together?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." So after one round of mitts with Manny Pacquiao, I says, "Wow, this kid can fight," because he had speed and he had power, and it's very, very hard to get those two together
at that size.
Yeah, especially at that size. And I said, you know, because I asked Pacquiao, I says, "Well, you know, did you go to any other gyms before this one?" He says, "Freddie, I started in New York and I came across the country and I stopped at every gym I could. And everyone else turned me down." I says, "What?" And so I called up Top Rank. I says, you know, I got this guy named Pacquiao. I was talking to Bob Arum. And Bob Arum says, "Yeah, we passed on him." I said, "Why would you pass on him?" He says, "Freddie, he's a small weight class. He's not going to make no money." I says, "Bob," I said, "No, this guy can really fight." He says, "You're crazy." So we started working together. Everything was going really well. And then he was about to go home, but right at that time, Ledwaba was the world champion from South Africa, and his opponent had gotten sick and pulled out of the fight. Manny was the next available opponent.
What are you thinking?
I told all the Top Rank employees, I said, "Okay, now you can make the bet of a lifetime right now." I says, "Bet on Pacquiao, he's 60-1. I mean, you can't get a better odds than this," I'm telling them. And they said, "Freddie, your guy's gonna get killed." I said, "What are you, crazy?" I said, "I'm telling you, this kid is special." And they says, Freddie, Ledwaba is like the best 122-pounder in the world. I says, no, he's not. I says, he's second best.
And he goes into this fight as a 60-1 underdog, and the announcers don't even know how to pronounce his name.
This is true.
So it's the southpaw Pacquiao against the conventional fighter Ledwaba.
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao. Say Pacquiao.
Pacquiao should fight here. He shouldn't try to get into a boxing match with this master boxer from South Africa.
He took this fight on only 2 weeks' notice, only came here to America 10 days ago, and he is banging Ledwaba right now.
I want you to start using your feints and your head movement.
Okay.
All right? Just like in the locker room. You hear me?
Okay.
Almost a resignation in the eyes of Ledwaba.
Yeah, and Joe Cortez has seen enough. That's a TKO victory for the very impressive Manny Pacquiao.
I had never seen him. I frankly had never heard of him. But I've seen and heard of him now.
And you want to see him
And
again.
I want to see him again.
I do too.
You had to be pretty confident to put a 60-1 underdog in the ring, Freddie. Why were you so confident?
When Pacquiao came there and when we were hitting the mitts and with the speed and the power, like together like that with such a small person, I says, this kid is really special. Manny Pacquiao was my next Muhammad Ali for sure.